Welcome to our show, Umbrellas of Hope. We are committed to enrich the life of members of the veteran and military community by connecting them to the resources that they need. We advocate for professional and entrepreneurial opportunities and facilitate conversations of hope, empowerment, and creativity to reduce military and civilian transition difficulties and to help our veteran and entrepreneurs families to thrive. Hi, I'm Niurka, your host. We invite you to be part of this journey as we, together, bring a positive change on new beginnings, opportunity, and success. Our new mini-series will be introducing the art of business to share with you how it can enhance your life, your community, and your future. And now, let's welcome Sherri. And you're in for a treat because she's not only an amazing speaker, she's a mentor, the leader of the Stop Self Bullying movement, an author, the CEO of Dream Big, and the host of the television show Outside the Box with Sherri Leopold. And she's here to talk to share with you how can you move from stuck to unstoppable. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this.
Hi, everybody. What a great day we've had here. My name is Sherri Leopold. I'm the CEO of Option Creators and Dream Big with Sherri Leopold and the leader of the Stop Self-Bullying movement. My mission here today is to empower you with a 3-step formula to help you stand up and stand out as the unrepeatable miracle that you are. I'm going to do that by sharing with you a 3-step formula. Why? Because it's your time to shine. Before I share these 3 steps with you, we're going to talk first about this miracle thing. Now I know we're not really thinking, I'm not really that big of a deal. But you don't think you're a miracle? I can prove it to you. It's actually science. Did you know that there's not a single person on this planet, literally with 8 billion people, that's exactly like you? They don't have your DNA. And even though people say, oh, you're just like so and so, or even multiple births, yet they're not the same. Regardless, there is only one you. And in my mind, that is a miracle. And that's the miracle of you. So there could be trillions of combinations of who you could have been with that one egg and one sperm, but you turned out exactly like you are. And I turned out exactly like I am. And that's because we are a miracle that is not duplicated anywhere on this planet. If you have identical twins and you have multiple births, they may have a lot of similarities. They may look identical, but they're not identical in the fact that they'll have completely different personalities and different traits. They'll have completely different strengths and talents. And here's the thing, one might like broccoli, one may hate it. One might be completely extroverted and one might be a total introvert. They may look alike, but they're not the same because there's only one you. And you are a miracle in that regard because you're not duplicated. So now that we have that out of the way, you, my friends, are a treasure. You are a one of a kind. And this is a critical component in understanding how to go from stuck to unstoppable, which is what we're going to talk about today. You are unstoppable. You may just not realize it yet. And we're going to work on these 3 things And that's what's going to help you move from stuck to unstoppable. But our goal today, since that's our goal, we're going to get right to it. So the first thing that you can do to stand up and stand out as that unrepeatable miracle and get to that unstoppable point is to fuel your insides with great nutrition. Now, that may be not what you thought I was going to say, but I'm going to tell you there's a very critical component in fueling your insides of you, because the insides of you affects everything you do. And the number one thing that you can do is water yourself. No, it sounds ridiculous, but most people are running around in a dehydrated state. It is a fact that Mayo Clinic states that you should be drinking half of what you weigh in pounds and ounces of water. It's an easy formula. 150-pound person should be drinking 75 ounces of water. If you desire to lose a pound or two, you should be drinking a gallon. That's 128 ounces. It may seem like a lot. You can work your way up. But here's the thing: when you're not drinking half of what you weigh in pounds and ounces, you're operating in a dehydrated state. Your organs suffer. The insides of you suffer. And when the insides of you suffer, your performance suffers. Physical, emotional, mental, all of it. Even a 2% deficit in your hydration, and you will have brain fog. That is not what somebody who wants to up level and who wants to show up as unstoppable and just crush it in their career. You don't walk around in a dehydrated state, because your brain is not going to operate at optimal capacity. So, fueling your insides with great nutrition. And the first thing about nutrition is to water yourself. Think of yourself as if it's that plant that's in the corner that you neglected to water. That's exactly what the insides of you are doing if you don't water yourself. The second thing in the about the inside is that remember that food is fuel. It creates the body you live in. You need to stand up powerfully, but you need to feel good in that body when you're standing up. Give yourself good fuel. Just like a car that's been designed to run on premium fuel, you aren't going to go to the pump and go put something like regular fuel in it. Why? Because it's not going to function at its optimum performance. That's what you do when you eat a lot of fast foods and processed foods and things like that. Give yourself great fuel, premium grade fuel. I always like to say, eat the colors of the rainbow. The more colorful your food, the better you're going to feel. So that's the reason you want to eat the colors of the rainbow. Now, our food sources and our soil, unfortunately, are very woefully depleted. So, like what was in a tomato 10 years ago is nowhere near what's in a tomato today, partly because of the soil, partly because of a lot of things in the environment. So, what are we going to do? We're going to supplement ourselves. This is part of what we're talking about, fueling our insides. Now, I'm going to encourage you to get on a premium nutritional supplement program, because if you can't feel the impact of your vitamins helping you, it's probably not doing you much good. You are worth it. Your body is worth it. I always say we can't go to the body store and get another part if one doesn't work well or it fails on us. So we have to be very aware of taking care of what we've been given. So I personally use Lavelle supplement line, and that's up to you. I just encourage you to go find a very high quality one with very good ingredients. Very much dig into the ingredients, make sure there's no fillers, do your research, and make sure you're using a good quality supplement. Watering yourself, eating the correct foods, and supplementing so that you get the full up in here inside, because this is what you're going to use to crush it in life, is what you're walking around in. So if you have a favorite supplement, I would love it if you want to share it in the comments. If you have questions about mine, I'm happy to just reach out to me and I can share that with you. Fuel your insides. That's the first step. Take care of the body you're in. The second step in this formula is to mind your mind. We have to mind our mind, because this is where everything is coming from. We need to know who we are, but we also need to love who we are. And this is often a huge element that keeps people stuck. We have to get our minds right about what we believe about ourselves. And if we truly desire to move from stuck to unstoppable, I suggest you understand what your own personal strengths are. Now, I might say something like, I'm strong, I'm capable, and I empower people every day to live the life they deserve. That might be something I say about myself. But see, I know what my talents are and I know what my strengths are. My question to you is, do you even know what you want? It's one thing that'll keep you stuck is not knowing. Do you know who you are? This will also keep you stuck if you don't know. If I were to ask you, who are you and what do you want to do with your life? Could you tell me without thinking too hard about it or hem-hawing? Oh, that's the thing. We have to mind our mind. What's going on in here? And the other thing I would ask you is, are you aware at all of how others see you? That's a really important component. Not because we need their opinion, but it's because who we think we are, we want to make sure that we're showing up in the world how we think we are. People perceive us with their own lenses, right? But we want to make sure that we are putting off who we really are. And so it's important to know how other people see you and be aware of it. Because if the way you see yourself and other people say to you things like, oh my gosh, you're this, this, and this. And if you don't see that, that's a huge incongruency. And that is going to be very difficult for you to move to that unstoppable point and really crush those goals you've set for yourself if that's not congruent. We need to make sure that who we think we are and who others perceive us to be is like this. This is how we plug in our own power cord. So, understanding that, how do you fit in the world? Do you fit in with the traits that you've identified as your strengths? Do you have the right network around you to feel powerful, to feel important and incredible and just love who you are? If not, I have a class you might be interested in that I teach that's called Who Am I? And it's actually, we deep dive. If you can't answer some of these questions that we've talked about in the Mind Your Mind section, you probably need to take that class because we need to get you to a point where you can say, yes, I'm Sherri and I do this, blank, blank, blank. You want to be able to say who you are, what you're about, what your core values are, what you stand for, and how you're showing up in the world. So, one of the points I want to mention here is that when we're talking about minding your mind, you've got to make sure that you love yourself big. It's one of the most important parts because people cannot outlove you. The level to which you love you is the only level they'll be able to love you. Very difficult in relationships, both in work and in personal relationships, if you don't love you. And I'm going to tell you, people will do business with who they know, like, and trust. And if you don't like who you are, they won't like you and they won't do business with you. And you will always be stuck, not unstoppable. The third point and final point is that your input determines the output. The input means what goes in, right? What you feel, what you watch, what you hear is going, and what you see is going to create the output. This includes books. It includes a whole bunch of learning materials, like, you know, if you're a YouTuber or you take courses, things like that. Whatever you watch on TV and the internet is going to impact this. If you're watching violent or disturbing television, you're probably going to have a disturbed energy flow. Input through the eyes or the ears or whatever it enters your consciousness will contribute to the undesired output in your thoughts or actions and also in your relationships. You have to control what comes in, and that includes toxic people. So, mind your mind, right? Requires knowing your brain's always listening. It's always on, literally always on. It's the one thing that it never turns off. Your brain is never asleep. It's always on. It always has input. So it can give output, right? The output is it's telling your organs and your body and things to keep working while you're sleeping. But the thing that's important to remember about your brain is that your words create your world. Using I am statements to manifest your future is so important. And it's not just trendy, it's reality. I'm going to explain that in just a second, but know that your brain will execute whatever you think about, including if you're stressing. This is what I suggest. Use lavender, use box breathing because it'll be enhanced if you are stressed. You can do this box breathing before you go to bed at night to relax your mind. Anytime during the day, if you're working and you're stressed, it's a great thing to be able to do. You need to control the input and output. The input is also your thoughts in your head. The other thing is speak only what you want to multiply. Your subconscious doesn't understand negatives. I want you to understand this. It doesn't hear the word not. So what does this mean for you? If you have debt and you're constantly saying, I don't want this debt. I don't want this debt. Your brain hears, I want this debt. This is why the I am statements are so important. It cannot process the negative, and the brain is always executing for you, solution finding. And when it hears that, it can't hear the not. So it's saying execute, execute, execute. This is why your personal I am statements are so critically important. Your brain's always listening. And this is what causes my favorite hashtag, make good choices, because we choose what we think about, right? And what we choose to think about impacts what we actually do. So make good choices. Why? Because choices create change. I'm going to say that again. Choices create change. Change your choices and your choices change. Choices create change. Change your choices and your choices will change. Anytime you're in a bad spot, make a choice, make a different choice. You'll have another choice. And then something will change. It's the way the world works. So change your choices change. Speak what you want to multiply. And if you feel negativity creeping back in, fall back on your I am meditations, because your input creates your output. And one of the most important parts of your input creating your output is the Stop Self-Bullying movement that I mentioned earlier. I talk more in depth about it in my Self-Bullying, What to Do When the Bully Is You book. But right now, I just want to explain what it sounds like. Saying things like, I'm so stupid, or why did I do that? I can't believe I did that. Or I'm so fat, or I don't have any friends. I'm always going to be broke. Listen, friends, words create worlds. Your words will create your world. Speak well, right? Hashtag make good choices. If you don't like where you are, you're the boss, applesauce. I used to teach that to my preschoolers. You're the boss, applesauce. I'm the boss of me. That's what I teach people to say. Because being in control of your choices is you standing up and standing out as that unrepeatable miracle and getting yourself unstuck. So if you focus on those 3 items, fueling your insides nutritionally with water, mind your mind, know your strengths, who you are and what you want, and that your input, what you're taking in, you're seeing and listening to, will create your output. That's how you're going to find yourself moving from stuck to unstoppable. It doesn't happen overnight. You've got to give yourself grace to grow and evolve, because you didn't get where you are if you're stuck in one day. It's a process. I want you to know it's been an absolute honor for me to be with you here today. I want to invite you to visit me at sherrileopold.com, and together we can stand up and stand out as the unrepeatable miracle both you and I were created to be. You have the power to go from stuck to unstoppable, because you, my friend, are an unrepeatable miracle. Remember, This is an inside job, and it's your job.
Wow, wasn't that powerful? I took so many notes. I got like 3 pages full of notes. One of the things that stand out was out of 8 billions of people in this world, nobody is exactly like you. Nobody is exactly like me. Even if we have an identical twin, I don't, but maybe you do. There's only one of you. You're a miracle. You're unique. You're one of a kind. Like Sherri say, 100% agree. You're a treasure because there's no duplicate. Even if they're similar to you, we share some similarities. There's some people that look alike. They have different personalities, and that's what makes them unique. That's what makes them have their own unique selves. So it's time to stand up and stand out. We don't want to blend in. Be you, uniquely you. The ways that Sherri mentioned, share with us how to do that. Use the right fuel. Make sure you drink enough water. And she shared this amazing formula. I didn't know this. Just drink half of your weight in ounces. That's the right amount of water that you need to drink. So you didn't have excuse to go see that weight machine. Now you do. Don't be scared. Just reminded that whatever that says, drink half of it. That's the right amount of water that you need to have in your body. Make sure you have night, the right food and the right supplements. The other thing that she shares is mind your mind. What are the thoughts that keep in your mind? Do you know who you are? Are you really listening? Are you really got down to know what are your core values? Who are you? Do you love yourself enough? Because we love ourselves a little bit, but do you love yourself enough so other people can love you in return? Are you showing up the right way? Are you aware of how other people see you? You might be surprised. The third thing that she shared is mind your input. Because your input determines your output. What do you see? What you hear? What are you watching? Who's surrounding you? No? What is the last book that you read? What shows are you watching on Netflix and Amazon or Disney? We have so many right now, so many choices. What kind of programs are you watching? Who are the people that surround you? Are they supporting your growth? Or are they trying to keep you small? You're the right, you're the smarter person in a room. That means it's time to move on. You outgrow them. It doesn't mean that you cannot spend time with them, that you cannot share your knowledge. It means you need to find another community that can help you keep growing up because you don't want to stay stuck. Like Sherry said, move from stuck to unstoppable. I want that. Do you want that? And you definitely need to remember that your word create your world. There's always somebody listening. And it's no big brother, it's our brain. So be mindful of the words that you're using. Don't use negative words. Don't give that power to the negativity. Use positive words. It's a powerful thing. Even if you don't believe it, practice in front of a mirror and say it. Look at yourself while you say it. I'm powerful, I'm beautiful, I'm enough, I'm smart, I'm intelligent. Say it. Your mind is listening. You say it long enough, you say it loud enough, you will start believing it. And be mindful of the words that you tell your children because they are listening to. How many times we talk down to our children? To the people that surround us. And what are we doing? We sharpen down to his own self-esteem. So use positive words. Build people up. Build yourself up. Don't break down people. Don't bully yourself. Don't bully others. You know, help everybody to grow. And you outgrow your environment, find the right community that can stand by you, that can help you grow. You don't have to be one. I have many circles of friends, and they all provide some kind of value. They feel something in me that I need. So I'm glad to go see them. So you can have many circles, but you need to have the right circle and start with you. Start by manifesting your dream, your value, using the powerful I am statements, and make good choices. Choices create change, change your choices, and your choices will change. Like there is just a little twisted, but make sure you make the good choices. So let's do that. Hashtag umbrellas of hope. Hashtag make good choices. Share with us in social media, Instagram and Facebook, and tag a more umbrella because we need to be in control. We need to speak what we want to multiply. Stop saying no. You know, use positive. Make good choices. Get yourself unstuck. And remember, you are a miracle. You have a purpose on this life. So it's time to stand up and stand out. You have the power. You can do it.
The road to success is always under construction. And what I'm going to be talking about today is the following. It's first of all that the way we sell today versus the way that we sold in the past versus the way people are buying today versus the way they bought in the past are completely different. So
You have and will continue to enjoy this journey in creativity with us. In today's world, where artificial intelligence, the Internet of Things, advancing science, and autonomous vehicles is our new normal, creativity has never been more important. This new miniseries of Umbrellas of Hope was created in order to inspire you and empower you by giving you the creative confidence to redesign the world around you, to create new solutions that are invaluable for today's society, powered by your vision, your own unique talents, and limited only by your imagination. Our world, our society, our future needs you.